is the U.S. stand on the issue of Open Balkans?
Sure. So the United States supports regional initiatives that bring the Western Balkans together and that foster cooperation and bring it closer to the European market. Initiatives which which facilitate free flow of goods, services, people, and enhance the rule of law are things we support. So we support the Berlin process. We support CEFTA. We support the common regional market. And we support Open Balkans. I mean, we've been on the record. I mean, Gabe is the special envoy for the region, our special representative for the region, and the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Western Balkans. And when he lays out U.S. government policy priorities, objectives, he's speaking for the United States government. So we support the Open Balkans initiative. That said, we understand that Kosovo gets to make its own sovereign decisions as to which initiatives it will be part of and which ones it won't. That's a sovereign decision for the government of Kosovo. Our support for the Open Balkans initiatives will continue to the extent that certain conditions are met or are continued. One of them, which Gabe spoke about very directly, is that it is freely and equally available to all 6 countries of the Western Balkans. So no footnotes, no special conditions. So in this case, the Kosovo would be treated just like every other country in the initiative. The other is that the principles under it align with the accession requirements for the European Union, that actually the work that is done on freedom of movement of people, goods, capital, and rule of law issues align with the EU criteria. To the extent those 2 conditions are met, we intend to support the initiative.
And is there a difference between like Berlin process and Open Balkans? Because we see the government supporting, and not only the government, opposition parties as well do not support completely Open Balkans, but they all support Berlin process. What is the difference?
I'm not sure I can answer that. I think it's a good question to ask them. I will say we are interested in any initiatives that enhance prosperity, increase regional cooperation, reduce barriers to free flow of people, goods, services, and help bring the region closer to the European market.
But you don't see necessarily something more dangerous for Kosovo from Open Balkans than from Berlin process and other initiatives?
We're supporting the Open Balkans initiative at this moment in time based on it meeting those criteria I laid out. If that were to change, our support would also change.
And again, one other issue that had a lot of attention in Kosovo was the issue of gas pipeline and the decision of Kurti's government to do their analysis, and in the end they were attacked by opposition that they are not, they are against this energy sector strategy of U.S. being supported by U.S. and they're losing money that was given from the U.S. government.
Yeah, I would dispute a number of sort of the claims you just raised. I don't know that they are, I don't know that the factual record supports some of those allegations. What I would say is when the Millennium Challenge Corporation was having a conversation with the government of Kosovo of what would be included in the compact, and the Millennium Challenge Corporation has very strict timelines and deadlines to come to decisions on different ways in which money is allocated. The government of Kosovo was not yet ready to take decisions with regard to elements of security, including the question of a possible interconnector with this LNG pipeline that will go from the port of Alexandroupoli to Skopje. Fair enough. It wasn't a rejection. It was simply, we're not ready. And in fact, it's many months later, and the government is only now publishing and put out for public comment its energy strategy, which also seems to be an evolving strategy. That the initial strategy we have, which has a number of positive elements, may not be the complete answer to this very difficult question of what will be Kosovo's sources of energy. No money was lost, so the money that might have been used for a feasibility study for an interconnector, because that was what was actually under discussion, went into different elements of the Millennium Challenge Corporation compact. That compact is still under negotiation, but very close to completion. It will be very positive for both the people of Kosovo and the United States. It's a joint project. There will be a little over $200 million from the United States, and I think somewhere between $30 to $40 million dollars from Kosovo together to help improve a number of elements of the energy infrastructure in Kosovo, among other things.